Right now at noon, a Joplin nonprofit helps families get back to school supplies.
And we've got that bee is back again. We've got bees, we've got some clouds, we've got warm weather out there. We do have that chance for some additional thunderstorms. We're going to break down those details in the forecast coming up.
Plus, the Baxter Springs Public Art Committee announced plans for a historical mural.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police have released more details from Tuesday's fatal tractor-trailer rollover on I-44. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. The driver of the tractor-trailer has been identified as 58-year-old Mario Suarez of Blue Springs, Missouri. Suarez died in the crash, and police also say the truck was carrying a corrosive chemical, which was safely cleaned up Tuesday evening. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we are going to skip beyond the bee here for a moment, and well, as soon as this, there it goes. Okay, fair enough. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. We've got a wasp nest up there, so somebody needs to get up there and knock it down. Otherwise, we've got clouds, we got some sunshine. It is beginning to warm up. Now, on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, there's really not much out there, and we put this into motion. We can see where we've had some of those showers and little pop-up showers and storms from earlier kind of roll through and fizzle out. However, we mentioned this morning, our friends at the Wichita National Weather Service were kind of keeping an eye on things, and we now have a low-end risk for some large hail and perhaps some damaging wind gusts with some of these pop-up storms as we head into the afternoon and evening. Started yesterday at 64, well below normal, only 1 degree above normal for the high. We're going to start to go above normal as we head into the next several days. We're already in the upper 80s and some low 90s across parts of the area. As we go through the evening, again, these storms that we see, they're pop-up storms. They're going to be isolated to widely scattered. However, some of those could be on the strong side. Be down to about 78 by midnight. We'll have a full look at your forecast and discuss these incoming storms here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, back to school shopping can be strenuous for families. Bright Futures in Joplin tries to alleviate some of that financial stress. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has the details on how the program helps.
We lost everything. My house was flattened.
Callie Johnson was affected by the Joplin tornado in 2011, and it strained her family in many ways, including their ability to afford back-to-school supplies.
It was traumatic, and I think I blocked out a lot of it. But it was very scary to know that you lost all of your belongings.
After the financial struggle her parents had because of the tornado, there wasn't much money left to purchase back-to-school supplies.
I didn't have any school supplies. We didn't have any money to get school supplies.
That's when she found Bright Futures in Joplin. It's a program that gives students free back-to-school supplies.
We supply food for the weekends, we supply school supplies, clothing, shoes, coats, anything that a student might need.
Bright Futures Executive Director Amanda Stone says that 93% of Joplin students experience economic deprivation, and being prepared for school opens the door for kids to be successful students.
We want our students, everyone, to be on the same playing field. So as long as the kids have what they need at school, then we hope that they can grow and alongside their peers.
And for parents,
it just takes off that burden of having to buy those extra things.
Callie says that while the tornado was devastating for her family, Bright Futures was the miracle she needed in the midst of the turmoil. Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
In addition to school supplies, Bright Futures also provides snack packs to support the organization. You can donate or volunteer. School districts in our area are still seeking employees. According to the National Center for Education, 86% of schools reported challenges hiring teachers last school year. 83% also reported problems filling non-teacher positions. This year, Kansas Schools Districts reports some of those same needs.
There is no position that runs without the other. And for us to be a well-oiled machine, it takes everyone working together in a school system to take care of students. And so if you don't have the custodians, it's difficult because we want to make sure we have a clean classroom for a learning environment. You need to make sure you have school bus drivers to make sure that we get students to and from school. We need to have quality staff members. to make sure that we take care of our students' educational needs.
If you're interested in seeking employment with a school district, you can find out how to do so on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Volunteers from Subaru donated boxes of blankets to the Freeman Cornell V. Shore Cancer Institute in Joplin yesterday. The blankets provide warmth to cancer patients who are dealing with not only the stress of the illness, but sometimes the physical demands of the treatment.
Here at Freeman, our top priority is to give high quality care and to have good clinical outcomes. A big part of that is actually taking care of the patient all around. So making them comfortable, making them be able to tolerate the treatment well is really important. So this event, Subaru gives a really high quality blanket to the patient.
Amazing, because it's not only to us, it's not just a dealership. We're like a family, so we like to take part in our community. It's amazing, and it makes me feel so honored and so humble, and just proud to be where I work.
This donation marks 8 years of participation in the Subaru Loves to Care program. Baxter Springs Public Art Committee yesterday announced plans for a historical mural that'll be unveiled in September. KOAM's Mitch Adams has the story.
Baxter Springs Mural Art Committee held a press announcement unveiling a new mural project near Baxter Springs High School. Officials say the purpose of the mural will be to visually depict the town's history, as well as encouraging community revitalization efforts.
Things, especially being across the street from a high school, like the students going to school every day, they can see it. And then it just kind of brings people through town. It helps them stop and want to check it out. They might stop at other places in town, and that's just really what we like to see.
The Office of Rural Prosperity, a division of the Kansas Department of Commerce, awarded Baxter Springs and 11 other small communities a public arts grant. State-issued grants like these encourage artistic expression, as well as bringing back vibrancy to these small rural towns.
We were lucky enough to receive the grant. It was a $7,500 award, and then Jim Hoskins with the Ronald O. Thomas Foundation was kind enough to step forward and match those funds, which was required, with another $75,000, which brought it to a total of $15,000.
We like to be able to showcase really great things about these rural communities. Whenever we see these grants come through for public art like this, we just really like and encourage seeing, things that are personalized for the towns.
The giant mural will be visible to visitors and residents alike, adding more historical value to an already historic Route 66. Reporting from Baxter Springs, I'm Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
You can find more information about the coming mural on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Another summer day in the 4 states means another chance for you to see some livestock at your county's fair. Today we visited the Jasper County Youth Fair in Carthage. The morning got underway with the market steer show, and later young exhibitors will show off their sheep and pigs.
Here mainly because my dad used to show when he was younger, and he enjoys it, and so do I. And so it just definitely brings us together and closer.
If you missed this morning's festivities, there will be a watermelon feed and a tractor pull tonight starting at 7 p.m. Coming up, President Biden is preparing for a much anticipated news conference later this evening. We'll take a look. And later, we're making crispy potato wedges with the California dip in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. President Biden is holding a solo press conference today, his first since November, to conclude the NATO summit in Washington, D.C. It'll be one of his biggest public tests since last month's unsteady debate performance caused alarm amongst Democrats on Capitol Hill. Natalie Brandt has more.
President Biden has back-to-back meetings with foreign allies as the 75th anniversary NATO summit concludes today in Washington, D.C. Tonight, his first solo press conference since last November will be scrutinized amid growing calls from Capitol Hill to now Hollywood for him to bow out of the presidential race. Vermont's Peter Welch became the first Democratic senator to call on the president to withdraw. Others have signaled they're worried about November.
I've talked to people across Ohio. They have legitimate questions about whether the president should continue his campaign.
3 top Biden advisors are heading to the Hill today to try and reassure Senate Democrats, and CBS News has learned that House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries plans to convey the concerns of his members directly to the president.
We're continuing to have conversations with each other, and those have been candid, comprehensive, and clear-eyed.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi warned Wednesday that time is running short.
The decision is the president's.
2 senior Democrats also tell CBS News that there's concern donations could dry up. But despite the uncertainty, the president and his closest allies say he remains committed to staying in the race, arguing he's the best shot at beating former President Trump. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Join us today as our search for America's best regional favorites takes us out west for a combo that is outrageously good. Don't you go anywhere.
And not only do we have some thunderstorm chances out there, the heat is returning. Well, the full look at your forecast from the KOAM News at noon returns. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've got clouds out there, we've got sunshine out there, and temperatures are warming up. And at least for the time being, the Skywatch Storm Tracker is relatively quiet with just a few stray showers here and there. But we are expecting some additional redevelopment of showers and storms a little later this afternoon across there. So we get this one isolated shower here in southern Crawford County. We got a couple of showers here northeast of Pineville, and these little shower specks here near Cassville and up north of Mount Vernon as well. That's really about all that's out there, and a couple of stray showers trying to get going again down here into southeastern Delaware County as well. Behind all of this, there's nothing, but that is expected to change a little later today, and as of just half hour ago, they've gone ahead and added a low wind risk for perhaps the possibility of some large hail, maybe some damaging wind gusts out there. So these storms will be strong to low grade severe, nothing overly significant, but the storms that we see, while they'll still be isolated in nature, will still now have that possibility of being a little bit on the stronger side. So what are we looking here? Because these are pop-up storms, remember the future track, there's a difficulty with pop-up storms because they develop in random locations because there's just simply available energy for them to do so. But we're looking after 5, a slightly more organized group of showers and thunderstorms into southeastern Kansas and northern fringes of southwestern Missouri here. We'll get this complex a little later in the evening. Now, some of the updates have moved this up. So this is midnight tonight. Some of the updates show the same complex, but a little earlier. But either way, after about 5 this evening is going to be our opportunity for some strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms with this pop-up activity. And that could linger into tomorrow morning with just a few lingering showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms out there through the first half of our Friday before those will clear out, and then we might see an isolated pop-up shower storm as we head into Friday afternoon and evening. Got the clouds out there, we got the sunshine out there, we got the heat out there. 87 in Joplin. Feels like 92 with a southwest breeze around 11 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region, it is starting to warm up. A lot of mid-upper 80s out there, even a couple of 90s. We've got 90 Miami, Chatopa, 91 in Independence, and 90 in Neodesha. So already starting to warm up. Then you factor in dew point humidity levels, and it's even warmer than that is what it feels like. Just about everybody, save a couple of locations, into the low 90s. But check out out west. Chatopa, Commerce, Veneta, for example, 96 is what it feels like. And it's going to continue to heat up over the next several days. So highs today, low 90s. Isolated to widely scattered pop-up showers and storms, and a couple of strong low-grade severe storms will be possible with that activity. As we head into this evening, again, it'll carry on into the overnight hours. A few isolated to widely scattered thunderstorms back into the low 70s. We'll hold on that south breeze at about 5 to 10. Heading into our Friday, even hotter, mid-90s out there now. South breeze occasionally gusting up to 20, and we'll have those isolated to widely scattered pop-up storms possible. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. And we head into the weekend. We go into the upper 90s for Saturday and Sunday, and check out the beginning of next week as we go into the triple digits, and we could reach a point where we see heat index values approaching 110 next week before we see a brief little cool down in the form of a few additional shower and thunderstorm chances. So just be prepared. The dangerous heat is making its way back, and just make sure you're ready for it before it gets here.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making crispy potato wedges with California dip in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is showing us how to make crispy potato wedges with California dip in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, we head west, where we combine the goodness of roasted Idaho potatoes with a creamy California avocado dip that is prize-worthy. If this combo sounds too good to be true, let me show you how easy it is. We begin by cutting half a dozen large russet baking potatoes into wedges and tossing them with a combo of smoked paprika, chili powder, salt and pepper, along with a splash of olive oil. We put these on a baking sheet, and while they bake, we make a dipping sauce by mashing a ripe avocado until it's smooth and mixing it with some sour cream, a little mayonnaise, chopped cilantro, a bit of chopped garlic, salt, pepper, and a squeeze of lime juice. When the potatoes are crispy on the outside and tender as can be on the inside, they're ready to serve with our creamy California dip. What makes these really stand out is the smoky taste we get from the seasoned potatoes combined with the freshness of the dip. To get the recipe so you can make these as soon as tonight, simply visit our website and search for crispy potato wedges with California dip. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a regional farm fresh way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
You can find this recipe online at our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, a couple of pop-up storms, a few isolated storms this afternoon and into the evening. A couple of those could be strong, low-grade severe, small hail, gusty winds. A few more pop-up storms Friday. The heat is on, though. Temperatures upper 90s through the weekend, lower 100s to kick off next week. Heat index values could reach 110 next week as well, so be ready. It's going to heat back up.
All right, thanks, Chris and Dowdy up for us this evening.
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, dyslexia is one of the most common learning disabilities. It affects more than 40 million people just in the U.S. We're going to see how artificial intelligence is being used to help. Plus, drilling has begun for the city of Lamar, Missouri's second drinking water well. And community members take an adventure into fire safety with the Miami Public Library as they learn about fire trucks and meet the heroes from the Miami Fire Department. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dow. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.